The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors and I'm your host. And today I got a special Sunday morning edition of the show with 2/3 of KillaNova, Christian Casanova and Triplelicious. Guys, thanks, man.
Thanks for having us, man.
No problem. It's been 2 years in the making. Thanks to Dick for, and Dick's wife for allowing Dick to come in and open the studio up. Guys, let's get right into it. Well, first of all, Mikey Fratton.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, homie?
Guys, where'd you grow up? You want to go first?
Yeah, so I grew up in Framingham,
Okay.
Massachusetts.
I'm a Providence born, but I was raised in Pawtucket.
Okay, great. When did you first see pro wrestling?
I don't ever remember not watching wrestling.
Right.
So, I think as young as like 4,
Wow,
I want to say.
earlier than me.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna age myself here, but Saturday mornings, those Saturday mornings, my uncle, my grandfathers would put it on.
Yeah.
Used to interrupt my cartoon days, but that's how I got exposed to it and got into the whole WWE and whatnot.
Nice. Now, do you remember who the first guys you saw?
No.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Nah, man.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you what really captivated me, like to start wrestling, to start watching it at a young age, because I used to I hated it because they always changed my cartoons,
Right.
But I remember specifically watching Flying Brian jump off the ropes. He had that springboard clothesline. That was it. From then I was like, I gotta watch this stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever met his son yet?
Mm-hmm.
You have? Yeah. He's good, huh? I heard I haven't seen him live or anything.
Yeah, actually, he's really good. Nice kid, man.
Wicked
I
cool
like
dude.
Brian. Yeah.
That's
Wicked
awesome. Well, obviously you said your family was into it. Your friends into it too?
Yeah, around
Now?
that time.
No, back then when
Oh,
you were
yeah,
little.
yeah. I had friends that watched it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were probably
Like Attitude
At
Era,
that
Ruthless
time.
Aggression Era.
yeah.
Okay,
You at that
yeah.
time you were maybe it was starting to get cool again.
Yeah.
I started up high and then it started getting
Yeah,
not
me
cool
too.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right. I've been watching since 1972. I'm old.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see, how old were you when you first realized you wanted to be a pro wrestler?
Oh.
I was young. I knew it like when I was like 8 years old.
Yeah.
Like I knew it.
Nice.
I was wrestled with my friends and my brother and whatnot. We used to go to the playground and have make believe Royal Rumbles and get hurt and whatnot. But probably like 14, 15 when I started seeing it on public access, and I'm like, whoa, this is actually possible. About that time.
Nice. All right, so now who trained you? I know.
Yeah.
Most guys know who you
Yep.
trained.
Brian Fury.
Yep.
Setherin or Amato, Amato,
Yep.
and Johnny Vegas.
Nice.
Yeah, I was trained by the damn Matt West and his tag team partner Draven.
Yep.
Mainly by them, and then I used to go to Bob's every now and again and polish up different things here and there. But mainly Matt West.
Great. Matt's awesome. I saw Matt the other night. Great
Yeah.
guy. Great guy. All right. Who else was in your class? Like I said, I probably know, because I'm very familiar with Brian's school, but.
It was. Do you remember Brick Matt Stone?
Oh yeah.
Brick Matt Stone.
Is he coming back?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Brick Matt Stone, Cam Zagami.
Yep.
Vern was there for a little while
Yep.
when I was there. Mikey Webb, Dijak. So many come and go too, but those are like the main guys. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. AG was there.
Yeah.
Davey N.
Yeah.
If I'm forgetting somebody, I'm sorry.
It wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh man, people I was in class with are not even wrestling anymore.
Oh really?
The majority. Chris Phantom just came back.
Yep.
I don't know if you know.
Yeah, he's coming on soon.
Sean. Yeah, good stuff. He came back and kind of fell back into the swing of things, but I was in class with him and Timmy Kilgore and
I remember Timmy.
So many people from back then. Cale Murphy. I mean, he hasn't been around in
Right.
a long time, but
I heard
half
all
the
those
people
guys.
that, not even half, like 2/3 of the people. I'm probably like the last remaining of
Right.
that class.
Wow. All right. Now, how about tell us about your first match?
Oh man.
A lot of people say it's battle royals. Were you guys in a battle royal at first? Yeah.
So my first match like ever was I went down to do a seminar. I went with Dijak to do the Wild Samoan seminar.
Okay.
In Allentown. I didn't even have gear at that time, and they put me in a little battle royal. It was Samu. It was like, hey, like you can do it if you want. I was like, should I ask Fury? Like, what up?
Right.
That just like just do it, just stay with me, and stay in the little corner with me, and we did it, and it was fun. My first real match was against Mikey Webb in Littleton, New Hampshire.
Nice.
And I sucked.
Or was that for Chaotic?
It was for Chaotic.
Okay.
My first match was. It was for NCW way back in the day. It was like it was at the time when he just showed up and hey, you're wrestling this guy. If I remember correctly, might have been Tim Kilgore or my buddy JR at the time that was wrestling back then. But it was more like, hey, yeah, you're wrestling this guy.
Nice.
It's always been like that.
Yeah,
It was still like that.
When you first start.
All right, the big question. Me and my buddy Dan Bolio wants to know who put you guys together.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
I've been seriously.
Tell your story.
I've been waiting for this answer.
So I started from what I was doing before.
Okay. Yes.
Ilya and I were a tag team for a little while, and I was kind of in limbo at Chaotic. I really didn't know. I was like a baby face, and I was still doing the Michael Jackson gimmick. And Chase had, he had control of the booking at that time, and still today. But at that time, he was like, "Hey, look, we're gonna do something with you, turning you heel, and we're gonna have you separate with Ilya." So I did the whole tag team, turn on your tag team partner thing on Ilya, and then I really didn't know what I was gonna do. They brought in Belmont. Belmont was kind of scouting me, and again, we didn't really know like KillaNova. We didn't know Top Talent. None of that really at that point. It was just kind of like, you're gonna be a heel. We don't know what. She was scouting me. We turned on Ilya. We slowly kind of got into it, but he did mention to me, he's like, "Hey, we're going to bring in Triplelicious to be your manager." And he didn't know that Trips and I had been wrestling for like the last 2 years for, NCW a lot. Like we've had a lot of matches. And he's like, "Yeah, you know the guy Triplelicious?" I'm like, "Of course." Perfect fit. He came in finally, and then from that point, like we just started moving forward with it, and we constructed the image of KillaNova Inc. and what we were doing and the cheating and all that. So it was Chase.
Nice.
Yes, it was. I didn't know anything. I mean, I wasn't watching Chaotic at the time.
Okay.
Chaotic at that time was just still a bucket list that I was trying to get into, but never pursued because it was like I was always not nervous, but it was like Chaotic was Chaotic at the time.
Right. A lot of people do say that they were nervous about going into
because it was very tough. I mean, unless you came up through the school, it was very tough to get in. And guys like JT broke that and led for guys like me and slew of other guys to get in there and showcase what we can do for Chaotic. But I mean, I didn't know what was going on because I wasn't watching Chaotic at that time. But I wrestled him a bunch of times at different promotions. I always liked him. I was like, this guy's good. He's really good. Especially, and then they told me, he's like, "Oh, he's trained by Fury." I was like, "Well, there it goes."
Right.
So, Chase, man, he hit me up one day after I haven't seen him in like forever, and I caught up with him, and we talked and whatnot about the old days and this and that. And out of the blue, I get a text saying, "Hey, man, like, I love the gimmick, this and that." And I was already like, I had just started the gimmick, like, and he's like, "Man, I love it." He's like, it's something that's not going on. No one's doing it right now. That's perfect for you. He's just like, "Yo, I have this idea, this and that." Mentioned Christian. I was like, "For sure, man. Like, I love the kid, he's a good kid." He's like, "I want to do this." He's just like, "I think he would fit perfectly with you guys, especially with your gimmick and Belmont and what they're doing." He's like, "Would you want to do it?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, it's funny because he gave me that disclaimer. Like, he's like, he's just like, "This is strictly going to be like a management role. I need you to turn Christian into a heel, get him away from that, the Michael Jackson thing." I was like, "All right." I was like, I'm with it. Let's do it, Nice. So, then we got into doing our thing. And like he said, he gave us free reign with like how to construct the image. Like he gave us an idea, but
Right.
he was just like, you guys be you and
Right.
construct it, you know? And
Right.
I feel that's
And it
what we did.
evolved.
Right.
Yeah.
At first, it was different, but
Now,
it changed.
did you guys come up with the name KillaNova? Was that Chase too?
He had an idea. I
Yeah.
was doing ThrillerNova for a little while.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, and it was like the Thriller of New England, and then the ThrillerNova, and then something happened where I think he might have said like KillaNova in a hashtag. And I'm like, I like that, and so we started doing.
Well,
Yeah,
I was thinking about it. And I'm like, you know, just going through my promos in my head and whatnot. What am I gonna say? Because I believe I believe I was supposed to come in and then cut a promo. So I'm at home and I'm like, yo, what am I gonna say to get this guy over and this and that? I was like, because you already hit him you already had turned and they were kind of
Yeah.
already, but you were still loved in that area. So I'm like, remember trying to cut promos and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna take this kid, I'm gonna make him a killer, and this and that, and like just working it back with him, and we just came up with that KillaNova deal, and I'm like, yo, that is dope. I was like, we got to go with that. He was like, yo, I'm with it.
yeah, it was gonna be ThrillerNova worldwide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Glad it
That would
was.
have worked though. It would have. You guys would have made it work.
Yeah, it needed.
like the way it went.
Yeah, it worked out the way it
Right.
was supposed to work out.
No, really though, and I've said it a bunch of times on here. You know, you being such a veteran, no
Yeah.
matter, and Christian being so talented too,
Thank you.
that it was perfect. Really, I mean, I know that you had to, you definitely helped him. I'm sure with lots of things. Not that you needed it.
I did.
Did you?
I did.
Nice. How did Royce Bishop end up joining you guys? 'Cause he'll be here tomorrow night.
Yeah, no, he's been my friend
Shout out to
forever.
Royce.
Mhm.
Oh, really?
He's been my friend forever. Like I've been friends with him. He was another guy who was in the training class.
Okay.
So he actually left a couple times. He had a baby and stuff
Right.
like that, and like had to handle it.
I would hear about this guy. Like,
Yeah,
like, yo, he's dope. He's a rapper.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, yo, let's see it. But he would never come around. It's like
Yeah.
this mythical guy.
Yeah, and it's a funny story because him and I always been talking, and he's always been wanting to come back into wrestling, but it's hard sometimes. Like when you have personal stuff and your family, it's hard. So he did our theme song. If you didn't know that,
Right. Yeah. I found out just the other day. About it.
Right, he did our theme song. So I hit him up. I was like, dude, come do our theme song at Cold Fury. This was 2 years ago.
Yep.
And at this point, he wasn't even really entertaining the thought of coming back right away.
Right.
But he came, he did our theme song, and we talked, and he was like, dude, I think I want to come back. I was like, please come back. He's like, do you think I can get into KillaNova? And I was like, it seemed so like far
Yeah.
like to happen. And then he came back, and then last year he was just, there. He was our security in the ring.
Yep.
We were selling our t-shirts.
Yep.
You were there. And then this year he's killing it, man. Like I'm so proud of that dude. Like he put his all into this, and now
Right.
he's here with us, and we talk about it all the time. He's like, dude, I can't believe this is like happening. We're actually doing what we said we were gonna do 2 years ago, and now we're all together at Cold Fury this year,
Right.
As a team. So
That match is going to be
and it-
phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, it will
man.
be.
I'm so looking forward
it
to
does
that.
work. Yeah, me too.
Nice. Well, why don't we jump right into the fan questions? And Tony Spencer wants to know, this is towards you, Christian, is Casanova aware that he still pales in comparison to the might of Top Talk? I don't agree with that, Tony, but
Huh?
exactly. No, I'm just kidding, Tony. Is Casanova aware that he still pales in comparison to the might of Tough Talk?
What?
Yep, that's what I hear you. Tony, come on, man.
I don't know.
Be a basic, Tony.
No. Yes. I mean, I did wrestle him years. He
Right.
was my first Liberty States match.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Like years ago, but
Mav told me I got to get him on the show, though, because he's funny and stuff
He is
like
funny,
that.
though.
So, Tony, you're coming on soon. He hit me up the other day. He was going to start his own talk show. Everybody wants to do it now.
Oh, of course.
So, that's awesome. Dan Bollier wants to know, Triplelicious, where and when did you have your first match? You kind of already mentioned that, but where, you said it was for NCW?
Yeah. Probably in someone's backyard. Seaconk, we were doing it at the time, so probably Seaconk.
Okay.
But I mean, in a professional ring, for real, what I count for me would have been '97. That's when we were doing like actually shows and we were being trained at the time. And if I remember correctly, my first match there might have been Chris Venom or Tim Kilgore.
Okay. And Dan, they already answered the other one. How did you end up working for Chaotic? You both, we know how you, obviously,
This
training
guy.
there. Yep.
because of this guy.
You're right. You actually told the story a couple minutes ago. Christian, it's been great seeing your evolution over the years in Chaotic. When did you first realize you were over with the audience? Because you were.
Yeah.
Big time.
I don't know. I don't know. I just think that I think they started respecting me.
Right.
Just based off of like my work.
Yeah.
In the ring. I think that's when they started respecting me, and then because with Chaotic it's a little weird, and I know you probably know this. When you first come, if they don't know who you are, they don't even give you the time of day.
Yeah.
Right.
But once they, get invested in you and like have an emotional connection with you, then you start to become respected at that point. And no matter what, good or bad, they respect you enough to give you like the time of day. So I wouldn't say like over, but
So you were doing probably Thrilling Over though.
Yeah, I think at that point they were like, all right, like we get it. This guy's here. Like we like him.
I just got lucky in that regard that he had that transition, so they were kind of still like, we like him, but he turned on Elias, so we're not supposed to like him.
Yeah.
So when I came in, like you said, they wouldn't give you a time of day. So I believe my first time there was, my second time there was the promo where I just getting the whole thing over. And I think at that time, that's when I started seeing people like, oh, wait a minute, this guy's serious. This guy's, a bad guy.
Yeah.
And he's endorsing him. So, but I didn't realize until like we sit in the ring and just start to do our thing. In promos, I see it more. We start to do our thing, and like you can see like the hatred, like get out of here,
Must have been hard though, because to be hated, because like I said, first you were so loved.
Yeah, it was.
But
it was a
I
challenge.
love it now.
I'm sure. Most guys do tell me that they'd rather be a heel because it's probably easier, right? I guess than to be a baby face.
I don't know. It's weird because at times I start to miss being a baby face, being like, yeah, come on. But at the same time, it's like so easier to just be like, I don't care what you think.
Right.
That's the whole thing with being a heel.
I'm gonna show my age here. It hasn't been written down, but I have to ask, what does being basic mean? I know it sounds like I'm an idiot, but I could have asked my younger daughter, but she might have known.
Well, I mean, for me, just even asking the question.
Oh, no.
Certifies you as a basic.
Bro, couldn't have said any better. Nah, I think the basic is anybody who disagrees with what we're doing.
Yeah.
You're basic. Like, if you disagree with what you're doing, it could be anything. Like, everyone who isn't us.
We're not in the business to be asking permission. We just stand up and take it. You know what I mean? So some people might see that and be like, oh, look at these guys, making friends here, making, politicking here. But that's a basic because instead of worrying where he could be, he's worrying about what we're doing where we need to be, so that's a basic.
All right. My buddy Nathan Fuller wants to know, Nathan always asks WWE questions, guys. Do you think that Kevin Owens will win the SmackDown World title tonight? Thanks for the question, Nate.
I hope so. I love Kevin Owens. He's somebody that everybody in the Indies should love. Like he's like, to me, he was like our poster boy when he got up there. It was like, if nothing against him. I mean, he's a great worker, great person. Does his thing. But like, if he can make it, it gives us hope.
Yep.
Like
Absolutely.
you don't have to look like what they always told you was supposed to look like.
Yep.
Here's this guy, and he's killing it out there.
Sure is.
So
I like Daniel Bryan better, honestly. I mean,
I do too.
I like Kevin Owens too. Don't get me wrong, but
beast.
like I think Daniel Bryan should carry it into WrestleMania and defend it at Mania against either Kofi or I don't know.
Yeah, I want to see
the
Kofi
story.
the champ,
the story's there. I don't see why not.
I do like heel Bryan though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
he's a great guy, man. I met him so many years ago. Really, really nice. Damon Farah, probably the greatest New England wrestling fan out there. There's a lot of great fans, but I mean, the way he supports everybody.
Malone is 2.0?
Huh?
Malone is 2.0?
He buys everybody shirts, very.
I like Damon. He's cool.
Speaking of buying shirts, you know where this is going. To Christian, when are you going to start carrying 4X? Seriously, love your work. My guys all love you, and they're looking forward to seeing you at Liberty Stage the day after Cold Fury. Yeah. When are you going to be carrying the 4X?
I don't know. We got new shirts coming for Cold Fury, but I don't know if we have 4X.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to figure that out. He's going to have to private message me. We're going to have to figure something out for him.
All right.
We'll get you.
Yeah, we got you.
And for both of you guys, who haven't you wrestled yet that you'd really like to? And it doesn't matter where, you know what I mean? It could be friggin' guys on the WWE roster or indie guys. Or maybe one of each.
All right. I want to work Sami Callihan.
Yep.
I want to wrestle Air Fox. I want to wrestle, obviously, Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
But I'll stop it right there. But then there's guys like locally who like I have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I talked to Chris Venom. I've seen Chris Venom years ago,
Right.
back in the day, and when I was younger, when I used to go to like the indie shows as
Yep.
a kid. And I saw him in the locker room last week for the first time, and I told him the story about it was him and Brutal Bob sitting right next to each other. I'm like, damn, this was the main event like 14 years. I didn't want to say it because you know you don't want to make him feel like, oh,
Right.
geez, good, thanks, kid. But I was like, you guys were in the main event 14 years ago. I remember that, and I told him I was like, I'd love to work you. So he's a guy on the list out here, you know, who I haven't worked that I'd like to work. And I know I'm forgetting people, but I'll work.
right.
I'll wrestle whoever.
Nice. And Bob is old. Sorry, Bob.
Yeah, all those guys he said.
Yeah.
He's going up high. No, yeah, I think I'd kill it with Sammy. Sammy's awesome. He's him. But other guys, I'll give you a fun fact. I've never wrestled Chase.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
never.
That'd be good.
And I've known him for like 15, 20
Really?
years. Yeah, never wrestled Chase. I mean, so this will be the first time
wow.
that
Right.
we'll lock up and whatnot. But I'd like to wrestle him one-on-one.
Who says we're locking up?
There we go.
Just gonna
We don't start our matches with a lockup.
No.
When we ever
not
start
you guys, no,
we
yeah.
don't start our matches with a lockup.
It
Chip, come on.
depends. It depends on the situation.
No, I'm kidding.
But no, I mean locally though, wrestled just about everybody around here. You know, it's because we were talking about. I've never wrestled Bob. I would wrestle Bob, like
Right.
for real. Like
That'd
I
be a
think
good
it'd be
match.
dope.
Bob's
You know,
good.
because like he has crazy psychology. I mean, I credit a lot of my psychology
Right.
to his teaching. You know, when I was going to his classes and whatnot, Bob, if we can get it done, definitely. I would love to wrestle Bob.
Nice.
Yeah, but there's not much people that I haven't wrestled around here. You know, I'm more of the I like wrestling the younger guys to see
Right.
what's being pumped out here. You know,
So now you've been in the business, is it 17 years now? Or is it
Probably
16
pushing like
still?
19.
19.
Probably pushing like 19.
Because like you had said earlier, how, you know, if the fans don't know you right away at Chaotic, it takes a
Yeah.
while. But that match you had against JT Dunn
yeah,
really opened up a lot of guys' eyes, especially some
Yeah.
of the guys that I'm friends with that go to Chaotic every week, you know? Really did. I remember talking about you on this show.
that goes without saying. No, I mean, JT is dope too. You know,
Right.
like they've had
Yeah.
killer matches,
I was
but
pissed when you didn't win the last one. Like literally, we went and we are like, tonight's the night. This is gonna be awesome. And when you didn't win, I was pissed. It was like the talk the whole ride home. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Me too.
but
I
with-
really was. I was pissed.
with JT, and you can attest to this too. With JT, it's all competitive, man.
Right.
Like he makes you want to be better.
Right.
You know, because he'll show you up if you don't.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so he always makes you want to be better than the last match you had. So that's why, like every time we wrestle, it's like, here, all right,
Right.
let's do
I
it.
thought it was a good move too, putting him on the belt on him, because nobody else was really putting any belts on him around here.
You
The
can
kid-
tell the
he's
fans
good.
wanted it too. You can tell the face when he was doing that thing with Chase. Like the
Yeah.
fans wanted it bad.
Right.
You know?
Nice. All right. So we're up to, what's been your favorite match so far? This is all still from Damon.
Ooh, favorite match all time or just our own?
Whatever. That's all. That's how we put it. So, yeah. What has been your favorite match so far? So either yours or whatever you've seen. Whatever you
If
want
it's
to answer.
mine, I'd have. I mean, much battles have I done with JT and whatnot. Like the funnest match for me that I've had was against Dave Cole. It was just we did a match. It was cool stuff, and like every time I watch it, I get goosebumps because I'm like, man, like everything just flowed perfectly. you
Now,
know?
what company was that for?
I think it was RWA at the time
Okay.
when we were booking things over there and whatnot.
like Dave.
We're doing. Dave's awesome.
Yeah.
Like
Talented artist too. He really
yeah,
is.
definitely. I mean, that's for me. That's my
Right.
favorite match for myself.
I'm just gonna say, I think my favorite match of the summer that I had was against JT the second time
Yeah.
in Lowell. The one where you ended up coming out when you guys were banned from ringside.
Yeah.
And
I was there.
Belmont came back.
Yep.
Yeah.
And everybody was there. That was probably my favorite match
Nice.
recently.
Right. Awesome. Let's see. This one's for you, Trip. No, I'm not going to say that was the question with the hat. No, sorry. Sorry, man. I'm not asking the Damon.
Nope.
All right. Still to you. I know you play a huge role in bringing so much talent along. Actually, you said that you like to work with young guys.
Yeah.
So who do you see making it to NXT, ROH, TNA, maybe overseas? And he says, I definitely see Christian making it. I do too. But is there anybody else that you see?
Yeah. They keep focus. AG.
Yeah.
I like AG a lot. I mean, I remember, you know.
Yeah, I remember the first
AG
time I saw him was a
little
fan,
kid,
little
yeah.
chubby kid.
Yeah, no, he's gotten his stuff together, and
Yeah.
I like the whole retro thing. You know, at first I was like, I don't know what this is all about, but again, you know, it's like anything else. You see it for the first time, it's kind of new. You're like, oh, I don't know, you know.
Right.
Kind of like when we came up. I think that's why I feel KillaNova, you know, is so moves so fluid through chaotic because we're different. We're not what they're used to, you know. So, but AG definitely. Sorry, I'm missing a bunch of young guys out there.
It's all right. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent in New England. I mean, there really is.
I mean, like that I see right now. I would say this guy in AG.
Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah.
You know, Josh is a monster.
Oh yeah,
you know,
definitely.
Definitely Josh.
Nice. All right. So Joey Gonzalez wants to know, where would you like to see your careers go next? Across the country, around the world, or maybe somewhere with TV syndication, which I would imagine that would be like MLW or you know, stuff like that.
Anywhere we get paid, right?
All three, man.
Yep.
Like, I want to be everywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to be anywhere and everywhere across the country. I want to be on TV. I want to be signed to a contract. WWE, AEW, NXT, you know.
It's much cooler now because you don't need a like a WWE or you know or Impact to make you something. You can be something. Like you can be something that you can be something that people like. You know, I mean, look at the Bucks. Like you know, and Owens and Sami Zayn were doing that too. I mean, you know, so. But definitely living in good times for wrestling.
Yeah.
For
well,
sure.
like you just brought up the Young Bucks. I went to a Ring of Honor show at the Lowell Auditorium. That's where I grew up in Lowell. And they literally were supposed to stop their meet and greet at like 8 o'clock. And I don't even think their match that night was supposed to be the main event.
Yeah.
But there were so many people still in line to meet them that they were out there from like 6 o'clock to like almost 10 o'clock at night. If they didn't make at least 10 grand each, I'd be 100% shocked, you know? And they are killing it. And I'd love to see you guys stay together and go everywhere. So.
And this guy should be everywhere, really. I mean, not to be biased. I mean,
oh, there's no doubt.
You know.
But like I said, I'd like to see you guys, and Royce included, you know, just like keep this going to the next step and the next step.
Definitely.
Another great fan from Chaotic, Squeaks, Anthony Miller. He says, what's next for KillaNova? He's got two questions. What's
Everything
next?
and anything.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know.
Cold Fury's next.
Cold Fury.
Yep. All right.
Put it this way. We're the only trio since, you know, we call ourselves the best trio.
Right.
We're the only trio in chaotic history to threaten every single one of those titles.
Right.
And we'll go get a chick too and threaten that title too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So take that for what it's worth.
Nice. And do you guys have any plans to add another member to KillaNova? That girl would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do, but like.
You know, I love Kathy.
You're gonna have to wait, right? If there is anything.
No, you know who I'm thinking about.
Oh, yeah.
We do.
Oh, we've talked
we do.
Yeah.
And she knows, but it's kind of like.
Yep. Cool.
No one can
touch and
take
go.
Kathy's place, though, man.
No, Kathy's her own.
You know,
but
right.
we're talking about like, you
Moving
know.
forward, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, Kathy is awesome. Dan Boley's brother Bobby wants to know, you are both entertained all over. I have been in a few of those crowds. What is in your experience type of crowd? Huh? What is in
what's
your
our type of
experience?
crowd?
Yeah.
One that hates us. They love us, so we're not doing our job right. No, but you know, I don't care what kind of crowd base is out there.
Right.
Because I'm gonna do me. I can only I can only do me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter, man. I just feel like every time I'm out there, like I'm working 110% to make sure that magic happens.
Right.
You know.
Well, I think you guys are both hated and loved. I mean, I know you're heels, but there's a lot of people that still love you.
Dude, I was a face for
Right.
a long time. For
Right.
a long time.
And last question from Bobby. He says, also, what is the worst, most annoying fans to deal with? I don't know why he wants you to shit on fans, but, you know, good thing you're heels.
I mean, we do it anyway.
You know?
Just I'm cool with everybody, man.
Yeah.
Especially like, you know, little kids and,
Yep.
and special needs. Like I'm cool with the kids. But like just don't get annoying with it. You know, a simple, hey man,
Right.
you know, great stuff. Hey,
Right.
you know, whatever. But keep it moving.
Yep.
The fans that linger on and yelling things from across, it's just like, man, if you don't
Right.
have the balls to, you know, to say something, you know, don't say nothing. But
Right.
I mean, it don't matter to me, man.
Okay. Same? Yeah. Because I'll be honest, I've seen fans, Bobby, I'll answer this from what I've saw. I've seen guys like that are in the business at the old Ring of Honor shows in 2002, 2004, just yelling stupid stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's what annoys me. And another thing that annoys me is guys that think they know more in the business than you guys. Oh, they should do this, they should do that. You don't know
I
more
love
than
that.
Vince McMahon. That's for sure.
I love that.
Right.
After every big, you know, after every big show, it's like you get on everybody. Oh well, it sucked, and
Right.
it's like, well, they're gonna have another show tomorrow that you're gonna watch,
Right.
and on Thursday.
Yep.
You know.
Well, it's funny because people do say that. They go, you know, I want them to change. So I say, do you stop watching? They're like, no, why would I? Well, if you want them to change that much, the only way to make them change is when they start losing money and losing viewers. Like, obviously, Raw's been not so great ratings.
Vince is straight.
Dan Bolio has another question. Who is the... it's got to be him because he's asking the question, right? Who is the basic out of all the chaotic wrestling fans? Dan, it must be you. You just said whoever's asking the question.
No, it's Squeaks.
That's Squeaks. Oh,
Squeaks.
nice.
Oh man.
Now, you were working for Chaotic when everything went down for him and lost all the stuff in the fire.
Yeah, I
You
wasn't
guys,
wrestling, but I remember that.
but you guys, Chaotic, all came around
they
for him,
hooked
and
him
that
up.
was really
That
awesome.
was super cool.
You know?
Yeah.
Thanks, Squeaks. You're on, Dan. Thank you for the question. Jerry Lane, another great fan from around here.
Yeah, Jerry.
He says, what made you decide to add Royce Bishop to KillaNova? You kind of mentioned it earlier. You were friends with him.
It was just meant to be, and
Right.
like you said, he's a perfect fit.
Yep.
You know, he's my boy too, so it's
Right.
like, who better?
Yep. Nice.
Yeah.
You feel the same?
Yeah, I mean, they told me, you know, actually he told me that's what they were thinking, and that he was pulling for that, and I'm like, all right,
Right.
you know,
Big boy,
I trust.
too.
I'm like, I trust your
Right.
judgment and whatnot. So, but just him being around and just, and he can talk like,
Yeah.
you know, he can talk trash like.
But I do want to say,
he's
he
good.
actually had to work hard for that.
Right.
Because he had to get Fury's approval. He had to get Chase's approval.
Right.
Because they weren't just going to say, hey, we're going to throw you in
Yeah.
to the main event picture with these guys and work with JT, you know, being a student
Right,
at that
right.
time. So like he worked hard for that.
He had to
man.
go back to
Yeah,
school
he didn't
and
just
just
like
work.
my word didn't mean like
Right.
they came to him before I even really got in Fury's ear or in Chase's ear about that.
Right. Nice.
I give him a lot of credit for that.
Good hard work, man. That's how you make it anywhere in any form of life. Brandon Daly wants to know, Christian, when and why did you stop with the Michael Jackson outfit?
It was just a matter of time. Like
Right.
I used it to get my feet wet, and then I ended up knees deep in it, and I had to kind of evolve from that. And I wanted to take myself a little bit more serious,
Right.
just because like I am a competitor. You know what I mean? I want to compete, and I do take myself serious and what I do in the ring. I didn't want to be doing dance offs and
Right.
you know, hokey pokey stuff like that. Like I wanted to get in there and have like competitive matches. I would see guys on like XWA, like those big shows and beyond and stuff. I'd be like, damn, I want to go like that.
Right.
Like I don't want to do like hokey pokey stuff. Nothing wrong with that. There are guys that do that and do
Right.
it very well.
Oh, yeah.
But that wasn't who I wanted to be.
Right.
And I knew, and a lot of people were in my ear saying, hey man, you got to switch it up some way or another. And I'm glad I did.
Now, was it an easy way to get in, though, to like, no, was it hot? Like, you know what I mean? For you, like, as like the character?
Yeah, it was kind of
I think he
hard.
was ready. I think
was
once
ready.
he told you that he was ready.
I was ready because I was so sick of what I was doing before.
Right.
And people always tell me now, like, oh, but it was great. But the thing is, like, it wasn't me.
Right.
You know what I mean? It
Yep.
was me giving myself a character to be in the ring as opposed to who Christian really is.
Right.
This character is so much more of me. I mean, I would never be like that in real life. But in the ring, that's how I carry myself.
Yep.
You know, like I'm so confident in what I can do. So I think I just portray that in the ring, and it comes off a lot more natural than me trying to be a fan favorite and dancing around and doing this and doing that.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I would get that all the time. You know, it'd always be. He had that moniker. It was, oh man, this kid is Christian Casanova. Kid is great. Has an awesome name. The kid is great.
Yep.
Got to drop that Michael Jackson gimmick. Got to drop that Michael Jackson gimmick. Everybody I talk to, I'm like, because I try to push him. You know, hey, this guy's good, man. Wrestling, he's awesome. Just like, oh yeah, I love him. Just got to drop that Michael Jackson gimmick. So I'm glad we went that route.
Yeah,
man.
me too.
Nice. And so you already answered that. How you ended up doing? I loved seeing you in Lucky Pro Wrestling. You were one of my favorite wrestlers when I started going to shows. From Brandon Daly. Brandon,
Cool,
thank you very much for the questions, guys. We're gonna get into the name game. And I'm just gonna pick them random from here. You know, I'm not gonna go down the list. How about guy that's celebrating 25 years in the wrestling business? Always been good to me and my family. Homicide.
I only worked him that one time in that
Right.
match, but he was super cool.
Yeah, Homicide is dope, man. Like, he's just a cool dude. You wouldn't think from his persona and that, you know, I think he'd be a big, tough, scary dude. I mean, he probably could be.
Oh, yeah.
Being from New York, but every time I've had encounters with him, he's always been cool.
Right.
We had that match with him, and he was cool with everything, giving us like he was. We could tell because I remember talking to him. I could tell that he was comfortable because he was coming up to the group and be like, yo, let's switch this around, and like started adding his ideas. Where guys like that are just like, I'm just gonna do my thing,
Right.
You know.
And he's trained so many guys, man. He really has. It's incredible. How about Jim Burgoyne of Lucky Pro Wrestling?
I owe Jim a lot. He gave me my start pretty
Right.
much as far as my first couple matches, so I'm grateful for Jim.
I've met him a couple times. No problem. Never worked for him,
Right.
or anything like that. But it's
All
always
right.
been cordial.
How about Julian Starr?
I love Julian. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's training at the school now,
Yeah.
and I think he's a great trainer. He was always good, even back then when he was
Right.
helping us. Sucks that he's not in the ring.
Yeah, it
I
does.
think he's great, man. I'd like to see him get back in the ring, lose some weight though.
But
He
Fun-
doesn't care though. That's
No, and I love that, and I love that
Right,
about
right.
him. Like, cool.
fun fact of Julian Starr. When I made my return back, because I was gone for like 3 years, when I made my return back and whatnot, they put me up against this kid who was I don't even think he was chaotic champion, but he was up and rising. You know,
Right.
I started seeing once I came back, I started seeing his name all over the place, and I had just gotten in. Just gotten back. And man, this dude wrestled, I tell him all the time, he wrestled circles around me. He had me all over the
Right.
place. Like, and I'm sitting there like, I contemplated, like, I'm like, this isn't for me. These kids are way too advanced. Like, I like, this is crazy. But I'm glad I kept on. And I wish Julian was wrestling right now, man. Like,
He got a
awesome.
huge pop when he came out for that chaotic countdown this year.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
was really cool
Yeah,
last
cool
year, whatever
stuff.
you want to call it. Johnny Vegas, another guy training down there. For you
Yeah,
guys.
something funny. He was the first person that ever told me, like, I think you have potential. I signed up to the fantasy camp.
Yep. Oh, I didn't know that. You did
Yeah,
the
so I did the
camp.
fantasy camp. It was
Okay.
my first ever thing, and he actually gave me the motivation. I mean, because you never know how you do, you know.
Right,
they're
right,
they're
right.
not like, "Good job, buddy," you know. But he kind of pulled me aside. I was like, "Hey, like, he's like, I think you have potential," and I remember that stuck with me, leading up to signing up. I was
Right.
like, "Oh man, cool! Like that guy thinks I have potential,"
Right.
and that's why I ended up signing up. And he was just so cool. And Vegas, even now to this day, always gives me constructive criticism. He still teaches me stuff. I go to class now, and he's still teaching me, telling me things. So I'm grateful for him.
Nice.
Johnny's awesome.
Yeah, he's cool.
If you don't know Johnny, man,
Right.
Johnny's awesome. Like, I still learn stuff from him, and just the stuff that when I see him, he may not be, talking to me directly, but I see him when he's talking to the guy. He's one person that never hesitates to talk to somebody,
Nice.
especially if you're looking for
Right.
advice. But I like that he'll come up and be like, "Hey, man, maybe you shouldn't have done this," or "Hey, I really like that." No, Johnny, he's another one. He's been around for years, and
Yeah.
Johnny, we got to get into it. We got to lock up at some point, man.
First time I ever saw him was here in Nashville when he wrestled for Jeff Costa.
Yeah.
And my mother was an Elvis fan, so like I've heard Elvis my whole life, so I love the tune he comes out to. I'm gonna bring out. How about a tag team that's killing it and chaotic right now? Bear Country.
I like those guys, man.
big.
They're cool.
I had
I
to
like those
wrestle him
guys.
recently.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
had to
you and
wrestle
Royce
him.
took him on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're. I like those guys, man. I mean, I've wrestled them. Actually, Beefcake, I've wrestled him one-on-one before.
Yeah.
And I've, we've done some stuff, even some stuff that you haven't even seen in Chaotic yet. So just wait. That kid can move. Bronson too. He's awesome. They're going to be a force to deal with. But
Right.
I
I had seen Beefcake too a couple of years way before I had seen Bronson. The first time I seen Bronson was at a Chaotic show.
Really? Yeah. No,
Both of them great workers. How about New England Hall of Famer? I don't know how much interaction you have. You probably had more. Brickhouse Baker.
Brickhouse. Yeah, I've known Brickhouse forever. You talk about one of those wily old vets.
Right.
That's Brickhouse right there. When I started to get back and just started to wet my feet in in these little shows and whatnot, I was doing a show out in Fairhaven, New Bedford area, and they were like, "Yeah, just you'll be feuding with Brickhouse." So we had a little feud for a little bit, but he's my buddy. I love Pops.
Any interaction with
Yeah,
Brickhouse?
I've wrestled a lot of guys that he's trained.
Yeah.
I've never really been in the ring with him, but
Yep.
I see him at shows a lot. He's cool.
Yeah, very, very nice guy. You guys got a big match coming up Friday night against these guys, Mill City Hooligans.
I don't got nothing nice to say about them.
All right.
Yeah, it is what it is. They used to be buddies, and now all of a sudden,
Right.
the fans are cheering for them. So now all of a sudden,
Yeah, it went to their head.
Yeah. All right.
these are the same guys we were going out drinking with. So now we're the bad guys.
I used to like the Logans though. The Logans were super cool. I mean, even Chase was cool, but
Yeah.
they switched up.
Yeah, Chase ain't even really from Lowell. You knew that, right?
Wow,
Yeah. He's
what a
from New
phony.
Jersey. Yep. I used to yell that at him. Too.
Wow.
You're not from Lowell. I'm from Lowell.
Well, I just still don't understand the
Oh yeah,
whole.
he is from Jersey. I knew
Yeah.
that.
I still don't understand the Mill City being in Lowell. I mean, they just took our idea from Pawtucket. Everyone forgets about Samuel Slater.
Right. How about this
Knowledge
guy?
right there for you.
Okay.
How about this guy? Definitely, no offense to any other ring announcer, but the best in the business, Rich Palladino.
My guy,
Oh,
Rich is
man.
the man.
Sure is.
He's the man.
I'd probably have to credit Rich for assisting in breaking the barriers of us getting into chaotic.
Right.
From what I understand, I've talked to Rich. He's the one that really was pushing for JT, to get that chance.
Right.
And if that didn't happen, a bunch of us wouldn't be there. So
Right.
I love Rich. Everywhere he goes, I'll go out of my way to go make sure I say hello
Right.
to Rich.
And he's the voice of New England.
Yes, he is.
Honestly, like it's funny because like hearing his voice just reminds me of some of my older matches, and just because his voice is like the soundtrack to my wrestling
Yeah,
career.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So yeah.
Nice. We already talked about like Anthony Green, how much respect you guys have for him and stuff like that. But I'm a big fan of his honeys. What do you
Me
think
too.
about that, Ava and Angel?
Yeah.
Me too. I saw him last night, and I think they're coming along great,
Yeah.
man. Those girls, and they learn.
Yep.
And
They put in work.
They put in work, and they're so lucky because AG knows so much, and
Right.
he teaches. I can tell, like
Yeah.
he teaches them a lot, and they pick it up, and they go out and they work hard.
Nice.
Yeah, no, definitely. I got the same sentiments. They're good hard workers.
And they look great.
Yeah. And it's funny, like you said, you guys both said they're hard working and stuff. They they went on a trip, like I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago. They
Yeah.
went down to Jersey and wherever
Yeah,
else
they're
they
ride
went.
or die.
And they didn't get a match, but yet they wanted. They had great. AG was saying they had great attitudes. You
Yeah.
know, he helped them get some spots in the matches
Absolutely.
and stuff. And
Yeah.
like you said, they definitely are coming along.
Yeah.
Nice. He says I bring his name up every show, and I'm gonna bring it up again. But Brian Malonis, because I'm a huge fan.
Me too.
I love Malonis.
Me too. I've known Malonis for a long time,
Right.
just because he's been at the school a lot of times, and he's somebody who he looks out for the younger guys as far as like, hey, here's what you need to be doing. He'll tell you kind of what nobody else is gonna tell you,
Right.
And even if it's brutally honest, he's always been very, very good with me. Like, Christian, man, you got to do this, you got to do that. And he's just somebody so easy to talk to. I can just say, Brian, what about this? What about that? And he'll tell me the truth, the honest to God truth, and that's why I respect Brian so much.
Nice.
Yeah, Brian's one of those names that, like, even, you know, when I was just, you know, 6, 7, 8 years in, Brian was one of those guys up and coming that was, becoming the guy that everyone was talking about. You always heard Brian Malonis, Kingpin, Brian Malonis. And he's another one of those guys that I never wrestled until recently that we got in there with him, so scratch that off. But I got nothing but good stuff to say about Brian. He's always been cool.
All right. How about a tag team, the Mainstay Posse?
Yeah, those are my boys. We had great matches with those guys.
Yeah, good chemistry with them.
Yeah.
They were real cool. They were open for everything.
I just love seeing how far they came.
Yeah.
Because I've known them for a while.
Right.
And I remember when they were just doing IWE shows
Yep.
in Maine at that time. And those guys are just killing it now. Like, I'm fans of those guys.
I've never actually seen Alexander Lee. All the times I've seen the Mainstay Posse at a show, he's never been there at any show I've been at. So how is he? Is he good?
I like him.
I've never seen
I've
him.
known him since back when he was doing the what was he, Scotty Vegas?
Scotty Vegas, yeah.
Scotty Vegas back in the day.
Yep.
And he had his own version of the Mainstay Posse back in the day. When I used to see him at NCW shows, and they were all right. It wasn't these guys. It wasn't
Danger Kid and Argo.
Yeah, no, it wasn't them. It was some other cat, maybe Danny. I'm not sure. But once I heard them again, and I heard the name, and I'm like, oh, is he bringing them back? And then I heard these guys, and I was like, oh, whoa,
Yeah.
wow,
They're a
these
good
guys
team.
are good.
Yeah,
And then they
they are.
got brought into Chaotic, and I'm like, wow, these guys are really good.
Yeah, I like the ladder match you guys had with him.
Yeah.
Me too.
That was a really good match.
That was
How about, I guess this guy's pulling off a new gimmick. All Sons or something like that?
Son
Cam
of All.
Zagami. What is it called?
The son of all.
Son of All, Cam Zagami. Sorry, Cam.
Cam's the man. He's been my boy since day one. You know, I've known Cam just as long. When I trained, he was there. But I'm excited to see what he does with this new gimmick.
Right.
I've been at class a lot with him. We've been kind of playing around with it, and it has a lot of potential, I think.
Yeah.
And Cam's such a good wrestler. I
Yeah.
think like he's bound to be okay no matter what.
Right.
I just hope that this clicks. Same thing with AG and me with our gimmick changes. It's hard, but the beginning stages is hard. But once
Right.
he kind of gets into the groove, I think he'll be fine.
I like him.
Yeah.
Busts his chops a lot, in the locker rooms. But nah, he's a good kid, man. I've never had a problem with Cam. I like his stuff.
He had a great 2018 too, man.
he
The
did.
Young Lions Cup winner.
Yeah,
Yep. I gotta say this before I go anywhere else, but I want to see you in the Super 8 this year. I really
Yeah,
do, man. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I really do. There's been some great guys that have been in that.
Yeah.
Really great wrestlers. How about I'm gonna go down the road towards your area a little bit. Teddy Goods.
I love
I'm a
Teddy.
big fan of.
I love
big
Teddy.
fan of Teddy's.
Love Teddy. Every time we go in there, it's like, let's just wrestle.
Right.
And that's what we do. He's a good dude. I love Teddy. I've known him for years.
I've never wrestled Teddy.
Really?
I just had
that'd be
that.
awesome.
I just had that thought. I've never wrestled Teddy. I
Wow.
feel like I've wrestled so many guys in New England. I've never wrestled Teddy. Oh, I want to throw him on the list of
All right.
the guys that I want to work.
The old ladies man.
Yeah.
That's when I first saw him. Gregory Edwards, man.
Yep.
He was probably 18 years old.
I've
So
known him
young.
for years. He's
Um,
good stuff.
A guy that you were a member of the PAWG. Flip Gordon? No one's been. Now you're the last one to be on the show, right? Out of all three of you, and nobody has given me why that name is. Can you fill that in?
I don't know who the PAWG is, but
Okay.
we were the PAG.
Oh, the PAG. I'm sorry, so I got it wrong. All right. See, I'm basic. I'm basic.
You know what? Next time you get Flip on the show, you're gonna have to ask Flip.
All right.
He came up with it.
Yeah. When I had him on, he didn't talk much. He was very, you know what I mean? Dave Padula actually helped me get him on because he wasn't answering my messages.
Yeah.
Dave was on. He's like, oh, you want him on? I'm like, I'd love to. He goes, all right, I'll get him on for you.
Yeah.
Next day, he calls me up. He's like, oh, yeah, give me a date. I was like, wow. Dave, how about that? Dave Padula.
Yeah, right. Dave's another one. I love Dave.
PAWG.
Dave right now, if Dave was wrestling right now, doing like the stuff he was doing back then, there'd be a spot for him somewhere.
Definitely.
Like he, you know, all this stuff that people are doing now with death matches and stuff,
Yep.
man, that was this guy. That was Dave Padula back in the day,
Right.
you know?
With his fireballs and stuff. And he didn't do it like with the paper either. He used to put it below the stuff out, you know? Dave's a great guy.
I still see him at XWA every now and again.
Yeah, nice. How about a guy that canceled on me and letting Royce come in tomorrow night? DL Hurst.
DL, he's a good kid. I like that kid.
I like DL.
Yeah.
I'm happy that he's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt for him.
Brutal, that.
Yeah,
Brutal, huh?
he's
Broke his
good.
leg?
Yeah, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah. He just had that match with Brett, right?
Yeah, he just wrestled last night. I saw him wrestle. He doesn't look like he missed a beat.
Nice. Well, seeing you brought him up, Brett Domino, who's really getting to be hated around here.
He I didn't see it at first with him. Not anything against him or
Right,
all.
right.
Like, I just didn't see I'm like he was just the Brett Domino was doing the Brett Domino thing, and I'm like, I just don't. And then you know, there was I started seeing the transformation. I'm like, I don't really know if I see him as a heel yet,
Right.
you know. But thanks for showing me wrong, guys. I love what he's doing right now. Like I love that whole thing that he's doing.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of Brett.
Yeah.
I love his new thing. It just makes me laugh.
Right.
he's
too.
he's good at it.
It is really
love it.
good. We brought him on off air, and some of these guys may not know him, but how about Ken Broadway? That kid is just awesome.
Yeah, Ken's the man.
Ken's the man.
Yeah, he's cool people. I got to wrestle Ken one-on-one at XWA. And we had a great match, good chemistry. So like I'm looking forward to doing more stuff against him down the road. It was cool teaming with him, but I even said to him that we're such strong personalities on our own that we're not really meant to be a team.
Right.
But I think him and I will have great matches down the road. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'd love to see Brian bring him up here.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be awesome.
I like a lot of those New York guys, man. Ken's always been one of my favorites. I seen him. Well, I've seen him. You know, I was following him before, but he had if you haven't seen it, he had a match with JT one time. Ken was one of their champions. I don't know if he was a heavyweight champion
It was
or
like the crown jewel.
yeah.
Okay.
But they had. I don't even know if it's out there. Maybe maybe I'm just revealing too much, but that match was fire.
Right.
I was like, this kid can go. And then I've seen him. You know, I think he went with Zach
Sabre Jr.
Sabre.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They had you know, a fire match too. So I love Ken Bro. A lot of those New York guys that are coming out of HOG, like Matt Travis and Evander James. I got to wrestle him at XWA.
Private Party.
Private Party.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are out of control, man.
Yeah, a lot of great talent.
I wish
down that
you
way.
know, I want to see him up here more.
Yeah.
You know, just to mix it up with our guys. You know. So.
Right. How about you know, the owner of probably the best wrestling school in New England, and that's no knock on any other school because I think New England has awesome wrestling schools. But Brian Fury,
Yeah, that's my wrestling dad. Yeah, he's a man.
he's getting old too. He's your dad.
Oh man, Fury's man. I have so much love for Fury. I owe him a lot. He's just, you know, he's one of those guys where he will never give you a compliment, and he'll make you work for that compliment. I think he's given me 3
in all these
years, but like, and I wouldn't have it any other way. You know what I mean? Because it taught me so much. Not only did it teach me a lot in wrestling, but he taught me a lot in real life.
Right.
And just how to like handle myself in real life situations and stuff like that. Like nobody's ever gonna yell at me and make me feel any type of way anymore. You know what I mean? The way that we train with Fury, like he gave us such like tough skin. Like he set us up, you know, to be to have like to hold yourself to a certain level.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yep.
not, you know, just to kind of, I look at it like the New England Pro Wrestling Academy is like the varsity. And he really, when I first started, it was very, you know, like guys like Dijak were there and stuff like that. So like he held it to a very high level.
Right.
And I wouldn't have had it any other way because it taught me so much. And now that I'm, you know, where I'm at, I see that it like paid off. You know what I mean?
Brian's is another one. You know, I'm like, you know, like everybody else. He's, you know, Brian Fury in
Right.
his parts. You know, and even when I got into Chaotic and whatnot, Fury he was out, but he was in. You know, so he would still come to shows and whatnot. But and he's just one of those guys that you just want to get that, like you said, you want to get that compliment from.
Yeah.
But like there'd be matches and whatnot and stuff, and I'd be like, yo.
Yeah, but if
What's
you
up?
don't hear anything, you're good.
Yeah, that's what he used to always tell
I
me.
told you, bro.
He used
He
to
didn't say shit.
I'd
So
be like, dude,
Yeah.
like, I was like, yo, you know, he didn't really say nothing. He just
Right.
walked by me. He's just like, dude, if you don't say nothing, you're good. You
Yeah.
know?
Right.
But like, it wasn't until we had the ladder match that we came into the back and like Brian did say something,
Yeah.
but it was like it caught me off guard because he, you know, we walked through and he was just like, oh my god, you know, just giving us
Right.
the, oh, that was dope, this and that. He's like,
Right.
great match, you know, this and that, and I'm like, looked at him like, yo, he said something,
Right.
you know, but
you don't know how to take
Yeah.
it. You're like,
yeah, you're like, oh, I was just, you know, I was just gonna walk by and be happy you didn't say nothing, but nah, man, he's one of those guys that you want that compliment because like if he thinks that you're doing something good, then it just makes you feel like, yeah, you know,
Right.
like I am doing something good.
verified.
Yeah, I've been a fan for Brian for a long time, probably even before he really started going to Steve's Bradley's school,
Yeah.
because he had, you know, was wrestling a little bit before.
Yeah.
You know, he went to Steve's. Guys, we're running out of time, but how about you guys got anything to plug? You want to plug Friday night?
Yeah, Cold Fury Friday night against the Mill City Hooligans and Chase. You know,
In
Yeah.
Haverhill?
In Haverhill, yeah, that's going to be a good match. I mean, we got so much to prove. We've been killing it at Chaotic, and we really are the greatest trio. I mean, these
Why
guys
not?
just came back to start problems with us for no reason at all. I
Why
mean,
not?
we were killing it. We weren't even focused on what they were doing at all. You
Right.
know, why are they focused on us? So, I mean, it's their fight. It's really not even ours, but, like, we're going to go ahead and we're going to, you know, back ourselves up and do what we do.
that's
And
it.
we'll leave Haverhill, you know, best trio in Chaotic Wrestling
You
history.
already know.
And I'll tell you, the show's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. The three matches that I'm most looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the whole show. Don't get me wrong, but it's your guys' match with the Logans, Brian and
Yeah.
AG,
That'll be good.
and Josh and JT. I mean, and again,
That'll be
no
good.
knock on anything else because I'm looking forward to the whole show.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
those are the three matches that I just can't
Yeah.
wait to see. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been 2 years in the making. I
Ah,
swear to
no.
God, thank you so much.
No,
I
man.
mean
Absolutely,
it, man.
man. Thanks
You
for
guys
having
have
us, man.
no idea. I jumped out of bed this morning, man. I was so happy knowing you guys were
And we
coming
made
in.
it with all this snow out here.
Exactly. So thanks again.
No, thank
guys,
you.
we're out. Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.